Your Credit Matters segment, brought to you by creditsanitizer.com. What's in my FICO scores? FICO scores calculated using many different pieces of credit data in your credit report. This data is grouped into 5 categories. Payment history is 35%. Amounts owed, 30%. Length of credit history, 15%. New credit, 10%. Credit mix is 10%. Your FICO scores consider both positive and negative information in your credit report. The percentages in the chart that we share on a regular basis reflect how important each of these categories is in determining how your FICO scores are calculated. The importance of these categories may vary from one person to another. We're going to talk about that a little bit. The importance of credit categories varies by person. Your FICO scores are unique, just like you. They are calculated based on the 5 categories, as I mentioned. But for some people, the importance of these categories can be different. For example, scores for people who have not been using credit long will be calculated differently than those with a longer credit history. In addition, as the information in your credit report changes, so does the evaluation of these factors in determining your FICO scores. Your credit report and FICO scores evolve frequently. Because of this, it's not possible to measure the exact impact of a single factor in how your FICO score is calculated without looking at your entire report. Even the levels of importance shown in the FICO scores chart are for general population and may be different for different credit profiles. Your FICO score is calculated only from the information in your credit report. However, lenders may look at different things when making your credit decisions, such as your income, how long you've worked at your current job, and the kind of credit you are requesting. The first thing any lender wants to know is whether you've paid past credit accounts on time. This helps a lender figure out the amount of risk it will take on when extending credit. This is the most important factor in your FICO score, payment history, 35%. The amount you owe, 30%. Having great credit accounts and owing money on them does not necessarily mean you are a high-risk borrower with a low FICO score. However, if you are using a lot of your available credit, this may indicate that you are overextended, and banks can interpret this to mean that you are at a higher risk of defaulting. Length of credit history is 15%. In general, having a longer credit history is positive for your FICO score, but is not required for a good credit score. Your FICO scores take into account how long your credit accounts have been established, including the age of your oldest account, the age of your newest account, and an average of all of your accounts. How long specific credit accounts have been established, how long it has been since you used certain accounts. Credit mix is 10%. FICO scores will consider your mix of credit cards, retail accounts, installment loans, finance company accounts, and mortgage loans. Don't worry, not necessary to have one of each. New credit is 10%. This is the one everybody worries about the most, right? How many? I don't want an inquiry. It's going to count for 10% of your score. Research shows that opening several credit accounts in a short amount of time represents a greater risk, especially for people who don't have a long history. Think about this. Your mortgage FICO score ranges from 350 to 850. That's about 500 points, or 300 to 850, 500 points. The inquiries are 10%. That means it's about 50 points. If you go from 850 to 800, you're still going to get a very, very good credit evaluation. Great information is always right there. MyFICO.com is where we get a lot of this data from. And you know what? When you look at MyFICO.com, and I don't get paid from them, MyFICO.com, the name tells you they are FICO, Fair Isaac Corporation. That's the Your Credit Matters segment. Again, brought to you by creditsanitizer.com.